Hey, good afternoon, guys. Llewellyn here with a stunk video. Just wanted to break down a few things for the community. I find myself having conversations just over and over and over, just being repetitive about certain topics. And, given none of us know what the next bar will be, I find that it's important that we share our knowledge with each other and just try to keep it honest with ourselves as well, no bias, etc. So I just like to run through a review of my trading session for 5/28/24, and if you take something from it, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Let's get into it. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So the first thing I'd like to point out, and this isn't for anybody in particular, just again a video of my daily reviews. The first thing I'd like to point out is how random these bars can come across without any kind of reference points. With that being said, I'm going to enable my drawings, indicators, etc., and then we'll go from there. So this might be a little overwhelming, but the first thing I'd like to show you guys is P&L from today. Nothing major, however, were green, positive is positive. With that being said, I'd like to show three things that allowed me to achieve this. If you can look at these notes, three of the main things I paid attention to were our 9 EMA flip on, let's say, our 1 minute. This flip taking place in a supply and demand zone to some extent, and volume confirmation at that point. These things didn't have to happen together or in any order. They just kind of needed to coincide with each other to some extent. So to give you guys an example, today we started out with the pre-market breakdown. That bounce turned into some kind of flag, and once market opened, we had a breakdown. I took this trade initially, so I had a short on MES and ES, I believe. We came in, we did a big one here, big red candle here, and then we did another big red candle. From there, once we got under the 9 EMA and our VWAP, my goal was to just hold until we retested it. Here was the first one, here was the second one, and the breakdown. Took some profits here, came back, retested the 9, broke down even further, got out of those. At this point, we started to set this little wedge, which from here I took another long, I think, just to get back up and retest the supply. Once we rejected that, we played around a little bit. We came back to demand somewhat, and I think I got another trade here, and I held the wedge from here pretty much to the top of this double top. I don't think I took an entry here, but when we came back and did this little semi head and shoulders or whatever, I think I took some there due again to the flip. We came under VWAP, bounced again, and here was one of the biggest trade for me today. We came here and followed back under VWAP, rejected it, and then we came all the way down here. As you guys can see, the RSI had a flip for a bear, D had a flip for bear. Then we formed some the demand down here and reacted off of it. As you guys can see, the MACD flipped, RSI flipped, and then we had some spikes in volume down here, which started engulfing previous volume. Also, take note that once the price, this is the important part, once the price gets over the 9 EMA, right? You wait for this. This is the candle. So this candle, when it comes back down and holds over, you can size here essentially. And if you can size for the first initial move, as long as there isn't a break and hold. So here was a break and hold semi, but then we got right back over. If there's not a break, hold, and rejection, then you can continue to ride this out pretty much. So I took a trade down here, got out of here or something, and then we pretty much kind of just sideways chopped again for the rest of the day before this big explosive move for power hour. And again, you can even look at here, right? We came, held the 9 EMA again, and ran up into the after hours. The funny thing about this price action is if you zoom out here, you can actually take a look at the next big rejection, which took place at this next supply, this same supply, forming a somewhat higher low off of the highs. So it's pretty interesting to see what we'll do tomorrow. As you guys can probably assume, futures are red, I believe. Yep, and trending down. So here's our breakdown, and now we're trending down. So the expectation is to test the previous swing low or whatever, right? So let's see what this guy does tomorrow. Hopefully everything works out. God's for life. I can send another post to YouTube, and we'll see what happens. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys have a good one. Safe trades.